BYU Notre Dame in Vegas. Notre Dame 3.5-point favorite over under 50.5. I'm talking into this game for a while. I want Notre Dame. BYU's receivers, by the way, are banged up again. BYU just hasn't been impressive this year. Like outside of the game against Baylor, like they opened up against South Florida. South Florida just gave up 6 trillion yards to Holt Nailers. After that, they beat Baylor, who's not been impressive. They beat Baylor in double overtime in a game they easily could have lost. And since then, it's like they get blown out by Oregon. They don't look great against Wyoming. They look awful against Utah State. And from a schematic perspective, I think this sets up well for Notre Dame because Notre Dame can push around. Basically, what's going to go on here is that Notre Dame can run the ball. BYU can't, and I think that's the difference. And BYU can't really get pressure. BYU doesn't give up explosives. That's fine. Notre Dame can't get them, doesn't rely on them. I think they can kind of pound their way down the field. And, I think Freeman, not your boy, but my boy, will come up with a good defensive game plan here to take away BYU's passing attack. And they're struggling to run the ball, and their receivers are banged up. Notre Dame's coming off of a bye. I just would prefer the 3. I'm going to be on the Irish here in some form or fashion. I think these are two teams headed in opposite directions. So I like the Irish. How about you?
I think Notre Dame absolutely wins this game. The problem is I make it -2, and I've got a lot of heartburn about doing 3.5. 3, I maybe could be talked into. But listen,
round robin anchor.
Yeah. I that's yes, absolutely. You can expect that on the show on Saturday. And I think really what's going on here is that Notre Dame is absolutely going to dominate in the trench. Let me give you the stuff rate numbers for BYU on both sides of the ball. Offensively, 110th. Defensively, 119th. That's not good against a Notre Dame offensive line that is improving. It was youthful. It's improving. It's getting, we have a different quarterback. But listen, Notre Dame is going to dominate BYU in the trench. BYU might not, allow explosives, but that's not really Notre Dame's offense. Notre Dame doesn't really have any weapons on the outside. And so what you're going to see is Notre Dame methodically move the ball down the field with their offense, slow moving drives. But at the same time, BYU is near dead last in defensive finishing drives. Everybody gets a touchdown when they get to the end of the field. So that would make me a little bit nervous about playing an under here. But yes, Notre Dame is going to be the winner. I am just, that 3.5 is too much for me. But, they're going to win. They win the trench battle. They win the game.